Now let's go to work on the menu. And the first thing let's do is let's make it a little taller, and we'll fix the width so that it's got a little extra space here in this margin between the right and than we do on the left. So let's set the height and width on it, and we'll set the padding to kind of make the things evenly spaced. You notice we've got a little bit of like padding here, and we've got a lot more padding over here on Wall of Fame. So let's go set those on our menu. And to do that, let's see, I think some of this we can do in the menu control itself. So I'm sure we can set the height in here. And let's set it to 30 pixels. And then I think the padding, I don't believe there's a padding in here. Yeah, there's no padding. So what we're going to do is set the CSS class. And again, I'd like to just set the class, but we'll do it this way. So we'll call it CSS class menu. And then we'll come up here and say, or it actually has an ID already, doesn't it? ID of menu 1. So we can take this out. And up here in our CSS for menu 1, we can set the I'm going to set the padding on the left, padding dash left, and I'm going to set this, I'm going to just try 8 pixels, and we'll see how that works out. So with these changes, let's take a look and see how our menu looks. You know what, and let's test it out here. Here it is in Chrome. So test in a couple different browsers too, just to make sure. Okay, so setting the padding worked out a little bit. You notice we're going to have to change our hover colors. But if you notice, like this amount of space here and here is about equal to the amount of space here, and it looks roughly equal over here. We could make it a little wider. Now let's set, actually this is looking pretty good. We might want to set the internal padding here between the menu items, just to scoot this Wall of Fame over to the right a little bit more. The thing I'm concerned about here, again, it's real small visual detail, but the amount of space between the home and the border over here, and the amount of space between the E and Fame and the right border over here, this is greater than this, so it looks a little asymmetrical. So we'll just set one more thing on that menu. And I think that this is one on the ASP control. There's this horizontal padding and vertical padding. So if we set the horizontal padding, let's try this from 17 pixels. Let's try making that 18 pixels and see if that makes a difference. And then, well, let's just test that. So test that. Go down and reload the page. So that scoots us over. Oh, the other thing we want to do is center our menu items vertically. Notice they're towards the top here. So let's go do that up in this menu style. We'll set vertical align to the middle. Oops, okay, that doesn't do anything. So, let's set the padding on the top. And let's set it to 10 pixels. Do we make the height? We made the height 30 pixels, is that correct? Yeah, so let's try that. Okay, and that bumps it down. So that's looking a little bit better. We're getting this menu to be a little bit taller. Again, I'd like to scoot this guy over just a little bit more, but well, let's just go do it. You can watch this or not watch the end of this if you want. I'm just going to monkey around with that horizontal padding to try and scoot that guy over a little bit. So that's looking, just visually, that looks a little bit better to me. Okay, so let's end this one. We'll come back and do a little bit more with the menu, but let's end this one.